And okay, we are live and we are now streaming from Facebook. It is going to still be a bit of a delay, as you can see. So I'm going to pay attention over here where we are instead of paying attention to the window over here that shows that we are streaming live. So first of all, welcome to 180 Degree Time Management. My name is Tanya Dotson-Winckler, and it is my privilege today to be interviewing my former client from 6 years ago now, Mel Larson of Larson and Associates. And Mel is here to talk a bit about how she has been using the products for 6 years and how they seem to get better with wear. And when was the last time you've heard that? So that's what Mel said she'd come and talk about. So Mel, thank you so much for taking your time. And I said I was going to time us so that we keep this really sharp. So I'm going to time the timer now. When it goes off, we will try and wrap this up in 5 minutes, as we've said to people on Facebook. And I'm trying to, like I said, look at two things at once here and see if anyone has joined us as of yet. I don't see anyone as of yet. So we're just going to carry on, Mel, and take it down and dirty.
Yeah.
What is your favorite distinction from 180 Degree Time Management, and what makes it so helpful now?
Oh, thank you, Tanya, by the way, for having me on your Facebook Live. And the privilege is all mine, really, really, really. So before I answer your question, I just want to share what it was like for me before I did your program, because when you invited me to have this chat with you, I started laughing when I remembered my life before Tanya. So, you know, this, you may remember this, but I remember a day, you know, I think a lot of people, when they're really, really busy and really stressed, they kind of have a time that's like that crisis point that they remember. Mm-hmm. And when you realize something has to change, something has to give.
Right.
And my point was, I was running down the street to catch a bus. I had like multiple deadlines that day.
I remember this.
I hadn't had lunch, so I was literally trying to eat a sandwich while kind of half walking, half running, listening to my voicemail on my mobile, and narrowly avoiding running into a tree. Mm-hmm. You know, like it was just chaos. And that seemed normal to me at that time. Mm. But, you know, when I began speaking with you, I realized, yeah, this is not good. And I'm not joking. It was literally that, running down the street with the sandwich, etc., etc. Right. So the distinction, well, you gave me a lot of distinctions, and to be honest, it was 6 years ago, so I don't remember what you called it, because I've like absorbed it all into my DNA. But what I remember is you taught us a way of managing our diary, and I used to see my day as like a blank canvas. You know, I have an artist background, so it was like great, and everything that I had to do that day would have kind of like artistically arranged on the page in my diary.
Yeah.
You can imagine how that went. And I would often wonder why I thought I was being organized, but the days would often feel kind of stressful.
Right.
So you taught us a way of, without giving your secrets away, there was like a really wonderful way of
it's called sacred scheduling.
That's it. Yeah. Sacred scheduling, which I use religiously. Given that it's sacred, I use it religiously.
Yeah, I like what you did with that, right?
Yeah. I use it all the time, you know, and I did come into that a little bit resistant. I don't know if you remember, because I was really kind of embedded in my way of doing things.
Yes, I remember.
You know, as I think a lot of us are.
Yes.
But I was open, and I'm really glad that I was, because it was life-changing.
Well, that gives me the next question, because, you know, this time is just running. You're not going to believe how much time we have left. So I'm going to ask you, that leads into this question. What are your top 1 to 3 results that you've got and still have from this course?
Okay, so the first one is power. So like a really deep realization that my time is my time. Mm-hmm. And therefore how I use my time is like how I'm using my life. So my life is mine. So
Wow.
even if I'm responding, like being reactive to emails that other people send me, and I'm not choosing when to look at those, I am being led by other people's agendas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to understand that conceptually, but I really feel that I really understand that now.
Right.
The other thing is I have a proper lunch break because of this sacred scheduling that we're talking about. I literally put my lunch break into the diary,
Mm-hmm.
and it is sacred. And I never used to do that. It would be kind of like I'll fit it in. And, you know, you can imagine how that went.
Well, how did that go, actually? Trying to fit in lunch, trying to fit in exercise, trying to fit in a date with your husband, trying to fit that all in.
It didn't go. It just didn't happen.
Right.
I would get tired because I wasn't nurturing myself properly and I didn't have the rest time.
Right. Now, Mel, can I ask you really quickly, again, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's something that we forgot. What is it that you do? Name of your company, and what is it you do?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do two things. I'm a marketing consultant and I'm a small business coach. So I help you turn your vision into results. So I work with mindset and planning strategies, and I work with joy and vision.
Oh, lovely. And like how many, so people will know, you know, that you're like not this little tiny boutique, because you just came back from 3 weeks in Russia. So something's working. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like how many, you know, how big is your client base? How much time, you know, are you devoting to your business or have to devote to your business? Or how much of a choice do you have now with what you have to get done and, you know, what you allow yourself to have in your life?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, I am someone that other people would probably call very busy, successful. My client base, I mean, I work with organizations that are anything from individual entrepreneurs to cultural institutions that have like 300 staff. So, and my clients are based around the UK and also in different parts of the world. So that gives you an idea of, you know, the level at which I'm operating. And I speak publicly a lot at conferences. I coach chief executives, etc., etc. So, you know, my time, it really matters. I can't waste time. Every day there's a list of things that need to be done and done well.
Good. And you know who just joined us? I'm sorry, I hadn't noticed everyone before. I had noticed some people. I've been trying to have the conversation with Mel and say, you know, and make sure that I acknowledge that you guys are here. So thank you so much for joining us. Morton and Phyllis Santa Maria is here, and Phyllis is talking about her top 3 results is power, and her time is her time, and not to be led by other people. Or, oh, I think she's actually taking notes. Mel, I think that's what's going on here, because her life sounds like yours right now. So thanks. Yeah, thanks for being here, Phyllis. Good to see you as well. Lotta Mickelson, Chloe. So that's really great. So Mel, you know, the fact that I just wrote an article about you because we were going back and forth in our group, which I'm going to invite everyone to join at the end of this conversation, where you were traveling for 3 weeks in Russia. And I'm looking at you answering the last question inside of that. What's the sustainability of 180-degree time management when you now, today, 3 weeks ago, had to prepare, leave for Russia, leave your company, and then come back? What's that like?
Yeah. Well, you know, the sustainability is high. I'm a satisfied customer, Tanya, because 6 years on, exactly as you've said, I was able to go and work across Russia for 2 very treasured, very, very treasured clients, where delivering effectively, you know, failure wasn't an option, and I really wanted to do my best. And I don't know how many flights I did in those 3 weeks, about 8 flights, I think. I did 5-day-long workshops. I did 2 public talks to hundreds of people. And I didn't have to worry about my other work. I think I dealt with maybe 2 or 3 emails a day. And the rest of the time I was either traveling, or I was delivering, or I was enjoying fabulous dinners with the support team, who were amazing.
Nice.
I was walking around places like Moscow or exploring Siberia, you know, having an incredible time.
Wow.
And or I was resting, you know, because I had scheduled in time to recover and to make sure that I was performing at my best. So I don't even know how I know how to do that, Tanya. I just know that after I did your program, whatever you did to me has stuck. And I'm sure if I thought about it long enough, I could, say, okay, I learned this and that. But for me, particularly as a coach, I know that the kind of results that your clients get when it's like in their DNA and they don't even know how they're doing it, just becomes part of them. That's the best. And that's what you gave me. So, I'm one of your biggest fans, because somebody who gives you back your time and your life, you don't forget them.
Thank you.
The privilege is all mine.
Thank you. That's been awesome. Thanks, Mel. We've got a couple other people that have joined us. We've got Jenny. Hi, Jenny. And I just want to thank everybody for coming on, and that this is going to be available. And what I'm going to do is write the place where you can join our Facebook group. So if you want to hang out, a place where Mel and I hang out, and we talk about time, and we follow each other, and we actually deal with real issues. This is not just a hangout. I'm going to be doing, there are some live interviews already in the group that I've done with some other clients. And this is a regular thing for us. So, we go back and forth and we talk about, hey, Lauren, about actual practical time management issues that you're dealing with right now today. So that's even more gratifying, Mel, that you would, talk about the fact that this trip to Russia 6 years down the line has, been seamless for you because of something because of the product that we did together, that you bought from me,
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Can I say one more thing, Tanya?
Absolutely.
There was something that you shared on that program, which was all about the true penalty of being late when you're a leader. And I won't say what it was you shared, because, people would have to do the program to find that out. But I have never forgotten it. And it was like someone threw a bucket of cold water over me and I woke up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mel. That is awesome. This has been really, really great. So I think we've kept it to about 10 minutes. We said 5, we did 10. We had to be a little, that's us. Okay. We're a little flamboyant. So we're just going to do that. So I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to end. That's us. Okay, we're a little flamboyant. This is what I didn't want to do. So we're just going to exactly what I didn't want to do. So I'm going to attempt to end the live without ending our conversation, Mel. And if it does end our conversation, then I will call you right back up, and we can.
Great. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Take care.